Alright, in this video we're going to be duplicating the Instagram logo. This is a tougher one to figure out, and it took me a little bit of time, and I'm still not 100% satisfied with it, with the way it turned out. But I will show you how to get it pretty close here. Not because this Instagram logo is one of my favorites, but in terms of complexity, I feel like it's one that's worth exploring a little bit and can sharpen your skills. So to get started, let's draw out a rectangle, and I'm just going to come up here and make it 512 by 512. Bring it up here, and we'll put a radius on it, probably about 90, 95, something like that. Alright, we'll wait to draw the inside portion. Let's get the coloring first. So to start off, I'm going to go over here to the fills, and I'm going to apply a gradient. Gradient direction is going to be about here to here. And with this bottom point selected, I'm going to get my eyedropper tool, and I'm just going to choose a purplish kind of color, one that I'm happy with. With this upper left selected, I'll grab one of these blue colors here, the uppermost portion, and I think that's pretty good. I think I'm going to add one more extra point here and just do a little more purple, just to make that purple come out just a little bit more. Now for this section here, on my fills, I'm going to add the plus sign here, and this time I'm going to do a radial gradient. And with that radial gradient, I'm going to drag the reference point, the middle reference point, down here to the bottom. And let's grab this guy, just because it'll be easier to access. I'm going to bring it up here. Doesn't really matter, you could keep it down there, but just because that's what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. With that point selected, I'm going to get my eyedropper and select that nice bright yellow right there. Okay, let's drag that down just a little bit. And I'm going to add another reference point right about here. Let's get our eyedropper, and I want to get that nice bright orangish color like that. And then I'm going to take this outside point, and I'm just going to drop the alpha down to 0. And with that, I'm going to drag this in just a little bit. And now you can see that I have that sunburst effect. My problem with this is that I don't have enough yellow here to actually span the amount of yellow that's here. And I've played with it. If you guys think you can get it closer, I'd love to see it. But for now, that's what I got. So I've got this orange, and I'm going to drop the alpha on here just a little bit to help it blend in some more. And you could take this and grow it, maybe get the orange a little bit bigger, maybe drag this down a little bit. That's one way to go about it. But in terms of getting it pretty close to being there, I'm going to leave it at that, just to show you guys there's multiple fills that you can apply to things to get different colorings. Now let's go ahead and do the inside portion. I'm going to get my rectangle and draw that out. And if we want it to be more exact, to start off, let's see, I'm going to hold down shift just to get a proportional square. Let's put out a smart guide here for the top and bottom. We'll get that guy there, and we'll increase this until it gets there, and we'll center it within our design. Now let's apply a radius. Get rid of these smart guides. We don't need those anymore. Right click, remove all guides. And we want a really curvy edge on this outside square right here. So let's keep bumping it up until it gets really curvy, almost circular. Let's go to 90 as well. So from there, I'm going to hit Command D to duplicate this shape, because I'm going to want to do a cutaway. So anytime you're going to do a cutaway, you generally want to just duplicate your shape, put it right on top, and then resize so you can do the cutaway. I'm going to change the color of the shape that's on top. I'll hold down Alt-Shift and click and drag this in until I get the thickness that I want. And I think maybe right about there. It's probably good. I'm going to hold down Shift and choose Subtract. Now if that didn't look right, you could always go back like before into your Layers panel, grab your shape here, and continue to manipulate. I'll hold down Alt-Shift again, and just continue to click and drag, and you can play around with that a little bit more. I'm pretty happy with where it is, so let's leave it as is. I'll go to my combine shape, and I'll just change the color to a white. Now let's do that inner circle. I'm going to hit O for oval shortcut. I'll hold down Alt-Shift so that I can start drawing it from the middle here. Click and drag that out. Get it to about the right size, and I think that's pretty good. Let's get this centered in our design. Now let's Command D to create a duplicate shape. Change the color of that, and once again we're going to hold down Alt Shift, click and drag until we get the thickness that we want for that ring. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to hold down Shift and get both of those selected. We'll use our subtract Boolean operation, and now let's just apply the white color to that. Lastly, let's draw this little oval out. I'm going to hit O for oval, and I'll hold down Shift just to get something proportional so it's a perfect circle. Get it right about there. And change the color to white. I like where that's going. And voila! One last thing you can do is you can add a drop shadow to this, just like they have over here. Increase that drop shadow, and what I would recommend is using the arrows until it gets to where you want it. So for the Y, let's click over here so you can get access to those arrows. And I want that to drop down just a little bit. There's not much of the X value over here, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But I think that's exactly what I'm looking for right there. So there you go. Like I said, not 100% there, but it is pretty close. I would be much happier if I could get a little more yellow here, and then it would be perfect. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it at that for now, and we'll see you in the next one.